Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 1, Episode 9. Or should I call it Aliens? Or Predator? Or The Thing? I'm not even sure anymore. This episode was such a mashup of so many different movies and TV shows. I'm not even sure you could call it an homage at this point. I think it's more of a just we're out of ideas. I just want to warn you at this point, episode spoilers ahead. The Enterprise is called on a mission to investigate the disappearance of a not quite Constitution class vessel that has had to make an emergency landing on the planet. However, it conflicts with their current mission to get some supplies to Space Station K7. K7 makes a return. I was really hoping to see K7. Maybe they'll do it in the next episode because they don't do it here. They go in a completely different direction. So the Enterprise has to go off and go to K7. Pike and an away team that apparently split the crew, 9 people, what are there, 18 people on the ship. He takes 2 shuttles and his away team, which is pretty much all of the main characters at this point. You know, you've got Pike, Spock, Uhura, Chapel, Mbenga, Sam Kirk, Belta drummer, and have I missed anyone out? Probably. Pike takes almost all of the main characters to this planet with this landed Constitution class vessel. And so begins a complete hodgepodge of aliens, Predator, The Thing, and practically every other sci-fi horror movie or film that you've seen. I mean, there's some other plot points in this episode which I couldn't give 2 shits about. I was really entertained by this episode. And for the first half, I was entertained for the right reasons because I thought, well, this is interesting. Okay, they're going to retread some tropes here. You know, a crashed spaceship could possibly be something a bit sinister here. It intrigued me and it entertained me. And then it just went off the rails with just derivative hell. The crew investigate this ship and they find out that it's the Gorn. The Gorn have infected this ship. This girl and a passenger have been picked up. There was an outbreak of Gorn on the ship, and the Gorn ended up killing everybody once the ship had landed. And it becomes a fight for survival, like Aliens and Predator. Okay, so the only thing missing from this episode, or the only couple of things missing, was the Belta saying, "Get away from her, you bitch!" And Arnold Schwarzenegger saying, "Get to the shuttle!" Genuinely, it was crazy. Now, in some ways, it was probably the best episode action-wise that Strange New Worlds has come up with. But on the other hand, it's the most unoriginal episode I think I have ever seen from New Trek. You know, and there were some entertaining moments. There were some tragic losses. Okay, we do lose some of the crew members. Again, spoiler alert for this spoiler, because this is a big one. We actually lose Hemmer. Hemmer dies, and it's very sad. And I quite liked the character of Hemmer. I didn't like him when I first met him. I warmed to him very quickly. However, Hemmer does die. Now, as I've said, the episode is rife with alien and Predator references. The Gorn have Predator vision. It's slightly less colourful. People show up as white, but it's heat vision. And they even make the noise like the Predator. The Gorn are chest bursters. They burst out of people's chests, but not just one, a few. I'm not even joking. That actually happens. The Gorn are chest bursters. They're on a badly lit starship with no power. They've got to try and save themselves. Some of the crew get eaten. This poor guy gets a promotion at the beginning of the episode, and I thought, "What? Get on your red shirt, mate, because you are gone. You are a nobody. I don't think we've ever met you unless you've been in the background." And we have a cadet who's also going back to Starfleet academy with Uhura. Yeah, she's a meaningless character, so they both die. They get eaten by Gorn or gorged out by Gorn. You've got Noonien Singh's obviously past problems with the Gorn, comes back to haunt her, and she shouts and fits of rage, and Spock, he switches off the barrier between him and his emotions to feel a bit of rage because he's got to try and get the Gorn's attention to lead them into a trap. And he shouts, he gets shouty. Sam Kirk's in this episode, although he is there to be Hudson. He is literally like, game over, man, this is game over. We're gonna die, and all of that stuff. And Pike is massively underused in this episode. You remember, is it Starship Down? In Deep Space Nine, where Sisko gives his crew a very shouty lecture. Essentially, the speech ends, and we're not going to pull through this if we don't pull it together and start acting like professionals. Pike's version of that is, we're not going to get through this unless we listen to one another. And I thought, yeah, well, that's New Trek all over, isn't it? We got to talk. It's good to talk. We've got to talk. Sam Kirk's there to be Hudson. You've even got, oh my God, I can't believe I nearly left this out. You've even got Newt. Newt is in this episode. There's a young girl, and she's, she came with another alien on board, and then they brought the Gorn on board, and the Gorn killed everybody because they burst out of people's chests. And it's Newt. It's Newt. So our Belta is actually Ripley? Oh, man. This episode tries so hard to be something. It throws so much in, so many elements from different sources, that it actually ends up being nothing. They make it off the ship, okay? Hemmer, unfortunately, dies. And he was a great character. I was really starting to warm up to Hemmer. And they killed him off because he gets spat with the venom from the Gorn. And the venom's how they procreate. So it's very much like the venom is the facehugger. He has a pretty heartfelt goodbye. He tells Uhura, you've got to settle down. You've got to do something meaningful with your life. And then he basically leans back and falls off the ship. Now, I was expecting the Alien 3 scene with Ripley just, holding the alien that's out of her stomach. I was expecting the same from Hemmer. But I think they gave him a more dignified death than that, sort of. La'an is going to go off the ship. She asks Pike for permission, sort of, in a roundabout way. Basically forces him to let her go on an extended leave to go and find not Newt's parents after it all comes to an end. The episode was trying so hard to do so much. It was incredibly derivative. The light's purple, and I put it on purple when I'm just not sure about whether I liked it or not. Usually it's red if I don't like it, and it's green if I do like it. It's blue if I thought it was okay. But generally speaking, purple is for when I can't make my mind up, because I was entertained by this episode. The first half of this episode was gripping as hell. I thought it was fantastic. The scenes of the Constitution-class ship, sitting there on a planet, I thought was spectacular. They really, really looked great, in my opinion. And the first half of this episode really carried me. The second half, however, it just devolved into what am I watching now? Which entertained me for very different reasons. I was laughing so hard, I couldn't believe it. Again, I half expected an Arnie cameo going, "You are one ugly motherfucker. If it bleeds, we can kill it." I'd love to give you a full episode breakdown, but I don't think I can, because I think that I think you should go and watch this episode. And I think you should go and watch this episode whether you like New Trek or you don't like New Trek. Because if you don't like New Trek, you're going to see that it's a derivative mess It pulls so much from great sci-fi, and it tries to do too much at once. And if you like New Trek, I think you're going to be entertained, because what they do with the characters in the context of New Trek is great. Now, you could say, obviously, that this is TV for a new generation. Not everybody is gonna have seen Aliens and Predator and The Thing, you know. But if you haven't seen them, then I would ask, what's wrong with you? I think you have a problem. You'll need to go and watch these films right now. I suppose I could give this episode 2 different scores for 2 different things, because it's very hard to review. And on the one hand, it was, in sheer entertainment value, it was an 8 out of 10. It was fantastic entertainment. In a story sense, it was a 3 out of 10. It was both brilliant and terrible at the same time. I just want to give a quick plug to my second channel. It is a repair channel. It's repair based, but I do have other projects on there where I'll make a few props and stuff like that. And I'm planning to do some more fun, crafty type videos. I might even do a Star Trek painting. So if you're interested in seeing that, let me know. Hop on over to the other channel and consider subscribing to that if you like what you see. And as for this channel, this video, I'm pretty much done, and I'm going to say a huge thank you to everybody who has subscribed. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, then please do so. If you like the content, and don't forget to like the video before you go. And until the next time, I hope you're all absolutely fantastic. You look after yourselves, you look after one another, and I shall see you in the next video. Ta-ta for now. Goodbye!
I need the silence, stop the violence of the war in my head. Time's the healer, the eraser of all done and said. As I fall back to my shelter,